Here now is Art Laffer, former Reagan economic advisor and Laffer Associates chairman. So, Art Laffer, Republicans who are in favor of tax cuts want to deprive people of their health care, probably want to eat little children for lunch tomorrow. Is that kind of rhetoric that we just heard going to have any effect in the American public?
I don't know if it will or not, David, but what I do know is getting rid of the mandate is absolutely wonderful. Here you're taxing people who choose not to use Obamacare, and you're taxing them for making a choice that they think is correct for them. I don't see how that can ever be bad, as giving people a choice and not taxing them if they don't choose your Obamacare.
Well, as you just heard, the result of that will be 4 million people losing their health care, according to Democrats, and that's what they say. Do you think that's going to have any resonance?
David. But it's not true. They're buying the health care. The only reason they're buying it from the government is because they'd be taxed if they don't. That's not really losing your health care. That's making the choice your own. These guys can still get the health care if they want to. No problem with that. They just won't be taxed if they don't.
Well, here's the problem, though, Art, that not only is it having an effect in the news media, as everybody hears that soundbite played over and over, but it's also having an effect with Republicans. Republicans now are thinking of passing this amendment. It's called the Alexander Murray Amendment. That stands for Lamar Alexander, Republican, and Patty Murray, Democrat. And this is a move to put the subsidies to insurance companies back in. That's the price to pay for getting rid of the Obamacare mandates. Is that a worthy price to pay for that?
You know, I don't think so. I mean, I don't know why you'd put the subsidies back in either. It doesn't make any sense. It's just going to raise the cost to everyone by the amount of the subsidy, and people aren't going to get it any cheaper, David.
Is it a deal breaker for Art Laffer? If they put the subsidies back in, if the Alexander Murray Amendment passes, would that make it unpassable in your mind?
I am not a voter in the Senate, David. I really am not. And, you know, how I would vote were I a senator, I have no idea. But I think I really like that corporate tax rate reduction. Now, if they phase in the corporate tax rate reduction.
Because let's just talk. You were going to talk about phase-in. This is what happened in the 1980s when rather than initially putting in the tax cuts that Reagan wanted in 1981, they phased them in over 2 or 3 years. Look at that down bar. We had a recession, a very, very severe recession, negative 1.9% in 1982. That didn't need to happen. If we had the tax cuts put in immediately, we probably wouldn't have had a recession, at least not one as severe. If we delay the corporate tax cuts this time, will we have a recession as a result?
It will surely work and inure itself against the economy. It'll make it a lot worse than it should be. There's no reason for deferring really it's a delaying, there's no phase in here. It's just postponing it 1 year. That will hurt the economy substantially as a result of that delay putting it in.
Because businesses, when you have a delay,
will offset this, but that's not true, David.
Right.
The choice is 100% expensing plus a 35% tax rate, or 100% expensing plus a 20% tax rate. Which would you choose?
Right.
Businesses are going to choose the second one, and they'll wait a year and do it. There will be no incentive there to reduce the amount of sheltering, no incentive to reduce evasion, corporate tax reform, bringing businesses back. All of those revenue-increasing aspects of the tax cut will be put to pasture, and that's just wrong. It's the wrong thing to do.
I have actually heard from businesses.
So I'm not a voter, so I'm not going to tell you how I would vote. But you know what I like, and you know what I don't.